Hey guys, welcome to your first library lesson of the 2020 school year. I'm Mrs. Austin and I'm excited to read this book with you. This book is called Pete the Cat, I Love My White Shoes. And you can see it's kind of beat up, it's been loved on a little bit. That's because my little boy, when he was little, loved this book so much. So here's a library tip for you. When you see a book that's a little bit beat up, maybe it's been loved on a little, that usually means it's a pretty good book. Because if somebody else loved it, you might love it too. So we're going to read this one together. It's called Pete the Cat, I Love My White Shoes by Eric Litwin and art by James Dean. And here's a cool fact about the artist who paints Pete the Cat. He lives in Auburn, Alabama. So if any of you are Auburn fans and say War Eagle, James Dean says War Eagle too. Here we go. Oh, look, there's Pete the Cat. And there's some beautiful different colored shoes. Tells us what we might be reading about. Let's see. Pete the Cat, I Love My White Shoes. Pete the Cat was walking down the street in his brand new white shoes. Pete loved his white shoes so much, he sang this song. I'm going to sing the song, and if you want to sing along, you can sing along with me, okay? Here we go. I love my white shoes. 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 Oh no. Pete stepped into a large pile of strawberries. What color did it turn his shoes? Can you guess? Red. R-E-D. Did Pete cry? Oh, goodness, no. He kept walking along and singing his song. He says, everything is cool. There he is with his red shoes on his red car. I love my red shoes. 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 Oh, no. Pete stepped into a large pile of blueberries. What color did it turn his shoes? Can you guess? Blue. That's right. B-L-U-E. Did Pete cry? Oh, goodness, no. He kept walking along and singing his song. He says, awesome. I love my blue shoes. 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 Oh no. Pete stepped into a large puddle of mud. What color did the mud turn his shoes? You guessed it. Brown. B-R-O-W-N. Did Pete cry? Oh, goodness, no. He kept walking along and singing his song. He says, groovy. I love my brown shoes. 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 Oh, no. Pete stepped into a large bucket of water. And all the brown, and all the blue, and all the red were washed away. What color were his shoes again? They were white. They're all clean now, but they were now wet. So white is W-H-I-T-E, and wet is W-E-T. Did Pete cry? Oh, goodness, no. He kept walking along and singing his song. He says, rock and roll. I love my wet shoes. 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 You can see as he's walking along, they're squeaking because they're wet. The moral of Pete's story is, no matter what you step in, keep walking along and singing your song. Look, he's got all the different colored shoes. Because it's all good. And I wanted to read this story with you here at the beginning of our new school year because sometimes this school year, it might seem that we step into a puddle of mud or a puddle of strawberries, kind of metaphorically. That means like we make a mess with school or something may not go right with school, but we keep walking along and singing our song because it's all good, just like what Pete the cat said. So if you have trouble with school, don't worry about it. Don't stress about it. Let's just keep walking along and singing our song and keep having a good time and keep learning. Keep watching because up next we're going to have a sequence video about Pete the cat.